I love watching Family Feud. There's one, and it's some celebrity one, and he's like, what would a lady police officer likely want to do to her husband in the bedroom? Woman beeps in, she goes, cut his penis off! I was like, what?
Yeah. And
Steve Harvey's like,
yeah.
like, what? Anyways.
Let's go to the board. I know. And the whole
Yeah.
family was like, good answer, good answer.
Everybody was like, that one was to the point where people were like, cut his penis off. Like,
Ooh, Martha.
this sounds like some trauma here. Like,
Right. And of course it's a family, so it's like, Aunt Jane, what?
yeah. Like, that show is like undecidedly, like, they'll have questions that it seems like they're really looking for the like sexual answer, you know? Like,
Oh yeah.
like,
yeah.
what's your favorite body part on a woman? Like,
Yeah.
you can only name
Her
so many-
hair.
Right, you'll name a few, but like, eventually it's like, tits, ass, whatever. Anyways.
How many answers go on the board? Because there's only like 3-4 that are like her
Yeah.
face. We get to her face.
Right.
Is that the?
So, I mean, yeah, obviously, tits and ass guys. There's leg guys, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know very many guys that are like leg dudes, so, or maybe they just don't talk about it because I'm like, but
You're
yeah.
not attracting the leg dude guys, huh? Yeah.
I guess not, unless you're like, well, nowadays, definitely not. But like, now that I'm old, I'm like, yeah, you like varicose veins and like some cellulite? I've got you.
Hell
like,
yeah. Woo, hubba hubba.
yeah.
Whoa,
I know.
just still my heart here.
I
you
know. I get all the guys going, but I feel like I figured
Yeah.
out the like strategy though with Family Feud. I think if I went on,
Okay.
I think I would do really
Yeah.
well. First of all, in general, because
Above average intelligence.
No,
And a lot of families are of not above average intelligence. Is this where we're going at?
yeah. I think that like
Yeah.
if you win when you go up there, the first answer, I think
Yeah.
you pass. I think passing is always smarter. Let the other
Yeah.
team play because they almost always get to like where they can't think of that last one. It's a good
And
chance
then you
to
got
steal.
5 people to.
Right, you all get
5
to work
people
together.
who've been thinking about it for several minutes.
Yeah, who can
Yeah.
come up with like one answer? Yeah, so that's my theory.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that strategy. There's definitely some comedy potential to this interview assignment you've been given to give a presentation about how you're organizing this tic-tac-toe tournament, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't know which comedy vein is likely to be most fruitful, but could you think of anything stupider than a tic-tac-toe tournament? The dumbest game on earth. You know?
Right. It's like so dumb that it almost comes back around to being smart again, you know? Like once you get to be like fairly good at tic-tac-toe, you almost will never lose to someone else who's fair. You know, you guys will tie all the time. Like that makes the tournament itself harder because you're dealing with 1,000 people who are all going to tie constantly and we're trying to get to a winner. Like who's going to hang around for 2 days? For a tournament, for a tic-tac-toe tournament. Like, the instructions are like, people are going to fly in from out of town, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Maybe some celebrity or something who's doing this for charity or something like that, I could see, perhaps. But, like, there aren't competitive tic-tac-toers or anything that I know of. I mean, maybe there are. There's, like, a few moves that, there's a couple things where you start and where you go from there. I don't know. You don't just place it randomly, but anyway.
No. But you learn that once again.
Like
if you've
playing 2
survived to the
times.
round, if you've survived to the round of 128 or something,
right?
Like,
it only really works out that we'll have a lot of people losing if we're playing with a bunch of kindergartners, basically, like who have only very limited tic-tac-toe experience. I don't know,
but also not the patience to hang around at a tic-tac-toe tournament for 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, you're gonna play. You guys get to play 35 rounds, and then we'll figure out, like. They're not going to want to play that long.
It does sound really. It sounds like it could be a really cool, really interesting job, especially for you. Given your background. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea of the product for sure because like I said, January came over and we were talking about it. And, like it takes a lot of like the weight of administrative shit off of nurses and doctors, which is one thing that is super important to me, very important to doctor and nurse satisfaction. But all of this stuff has to be done. Like so, if somebody's coming in for a colonoscopy, you got to call like a week in advance, make sure. Talk through their medications. Like if say you were going to have a colonoscopy, you might have to stop taking your semaglutide, whatever. Like
I thought you were going to say the toenail polish fungus stuff.
You might.
I've been shoving that up my colon a lot. So I was thinking maybe the fungus was coming from my rectum.
Yeah.
Totally. And I'm like, what implement is better than this bottle of toenail polish to like jam up there?
Yeah. I don't know.
Makes perfect sense, huh? Yeah, I know. You're stupefied by my genius. I can see.
I'm like, anything I would say to this though would get like super dirty. Like, what else can we stick up
It's
our
already
asses?
borderline
like,
dirty right now. That's right.
You're like, maybe a Coke can should also go. Anyway.
I went blue 16 minutes into our recording, so. But tic-tac-toe tournaments. I mean, you can have a really interesting, robust conversation about tic-tac-toe tournaments too.
I mean, right. I'm like, the real concern is that no one will show up. And also, how are we going to organize getting all these fucking volunteers and stuff? Or anyway, but like, I need a ton of volunteers. Like,
if you think the participants are idiots, wait till you meet the volunteers.
What are you doing this for? I'm like, we have to pair up with a charity. Be like, oh yeah, this is like our cup, Statement Nails, and the SPCA. We're hosting a tournament, so like there'll be stuff that goes to charity from your entrance fee or whatever. Like
what charity fits with? We're gonna play the dumbest
tic-tac-toe?
game on earth.
Yeah, I mean,
it ain't a brain trust charity. This is not like
Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Yeah, teach children to read. Or,
right. Yeah.
I
mean, I don't know. SPCA is the one that I was going with, just because it's like it has to be outside, and then I'm like, but they could bring their dogs and stuff and have the animals there to look at. You can have a whole little setup, but
you could have it before. It could be like the Special Olympics. It could be needy people, perhaps, and then they actually.
Then it would make sense for them to have flown in, but. Gosh, did you see the thing about there's like this OnlyFans model who's got Down syndrome? Yeah, so it's like real weird. Like she's very pretty. She doesn't look super Down syndrome-y and has a rockin' body, of course. But yeah, also,
Oh man! All right, we're gonna have to take a look at her.
Yeah,
I
don't
know how deep I want to go here.
I mean, yeah. Like, I haven't seen any pictures where she's nude or anything like that. I think I would actually have to subscribe to her OnlyFans for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like here.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Rockin' body, like you said.
Right. And doesn't look super, super Down syndrome-y. Like, she looks like she's got... I can see it. But.
Yeah, I'm not about that. Man, I'm telling you, dudes, there's some dude out there into anything you can think of, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, with her, it's like, gosh, this, like, really borders on, like... pedophilia I don't know how old she is, but
does she have a guardian at this age? And,
right.
You know,
like, is she able to? I don't know exactly what the IQ level is for a typical or high level Down syndrome child. Like,
sure.
It's not terrible. So it's like, what's the difference between that and like my friend Deborah, who's just an idiot, like a full on, like she is dumb as the brick. You know, I mean, it's like she's also 4'11".
OnlyFans needs to have a filtering process, obviously. So they're like, "How dumb are you?" And you're like, "I'm dumb. I'm real dumb."
Real dumb. Like, I don't know what this question says.
And they're like, "Sorry, you can't. You're just not gonna be able to show your naked body to dudes. You're too dumb."
But like, I don't know.
Dudes have been counting on the dumb chicks for since the dawn of creation.
So what's the difference? You know, like she may be like a really smart Down syndrome person, so could like work in a grocery store or something. Like our grandma Thelma worked at McDonald's at the end of her life. Like I don't think her career ever took off past like cashier.
Her OnlyFans page would
she
attract
had the
some
old school
weird
version.
ones.
She's like, I just get married a million times. Like she had 8 husbands. I think about this all the time. I'm like, do you really think that guy number 5, 6, 7, 8 was like, this is gonna last forever?
Yeah.
Like,
I have found the love of my life.
Yeah, like I can understand somebody being on marriage number 2. Past there, like you start to go like, man, I don't know that you're so like this is gonna.
They better have good excuses at that point.
Right.
At 3 and 4, you better have a good excuse. You know? Well, this one died.
Right.
This, you know.
I guess I mean specifically if you just get divorced, like Thelma did.
Right.
Like, so if you've got 3 or 4 divorces, like, why do you even want to get married again? Like, why not just live together? Like, I don't know. Somebody told me that you have like generational things that'll skip a generation.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, oh, so I'm supposed to be like Thelma. And I'm like, God, I kind of see that. And that fucking sucks. You know? Like, I'm like, fuck that thing. I don't know.
I don't know that our listeners would know who, like, they're picking up a little bit about Thelma here, but I don't know that they would know what's up with Thelma.
Well, she was a disaster. Here's one other fun story about her. Besides that she had 8 husbands and abandoned our mom, but when I was playing soccer for U of H, I was playing against the University of Wisconsin, and I didn't know this. Mom decided to tell Thelma that I was coming. And so Thelma walks up, crazy ass Grandma Thelma, in like purple sweatpants, green sweatshirt, cowboy hat that's literally like this big. It's orange, bright orange around, and she's dragging her oxygen tank. I don't see her because I'm doing my soccer game and I'm not looking for anybody until halftime when like we're having our halftime talk, and she walks over in the middle of the field through this college soccer, and she's like, Kalyn, hi! And my coach is like, what the fuck? Like, and I was like, I can't talk right now, Grandma. You gotta go back. Like, I could have killed Mom, honestly, for that.
Well, how long did it take your brain to register? Like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, I know you're in Wisconsin, so you're maybe you were primed for this a little bit.
No, not at all. Like, I didn't even know Mom knew that, like, where I was going that week, you know, or whatever. Because, like, I was traveling all the time during that season. Like, and I didn't know the brain.
So you just see a face that you haven't seen in a long time, and like you're just.
I see movement. I can see movement over here where there like shouldn't be any because we're in a very intense halftime talk. Like we're down. The coach has like very strong words for us, and like then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, and she's like, Kalyn, hi, dragging the fucking oxygen tank, and I was like, and coach is like, you need to deal with this right now, and what the fuck, like, I definitely had to run sprints for that, like just
you weren't like one of the stars of the team either that could get away with a little bit of
I had no latitude, like I don't even think I'd played at that point in the game, like at halftime, but like
the little cowboy hat does make it sound like that is what you would put the Down syndrome person in.
I was like,
come on, Timmy, you can wear your cowboy hat,
like
bring your oxygen tank, come on.
Right I was like, man, you'd be like looking kind of white trashy if you were just in like this mismatched sweatsuit that didn't fit well, but like this mismatched sweatsuit with another color of tiny cowboy hat. I was like, oh my God, like everybody seems like, what was that about? I'm like, fucking nothing, like don't
please,
like
please, I got problems, guys, please.
Right, you're like, when you guys have questions about what's wrong with me, it's my genes, and that's the one who's to blame right there. Like, God, I don't know.
Right there, she is. Where'd she get it from, though? What generation did that skip? Because I feel like all I've seen are the black and white old photos as we get pretty far back, but they look like pretty down-to-earth people who had to, like, swing hatchets at logs and,
right.
You couldn't be.
Like, did I tell you
just got the weird genes or whatever,
I guess, She was just like too pretty and too stupid to have, I don't know. Yeah.
Like, you look at when you pull up pictures of Abby Bowl or whatever, Eleanor Coffine's mother, and you're like, and it looks like William McKinley, you're like, this
so
woman
beautiful.
is not. Yeah, she's like, she got done churning butter, and then she had to like kill a chicken, and then she had to chop firewood, and she's not showing up to some soccer game in pink and purple sweatpants and a cowboy hat. That is not. So
should we kick off the episode? You think?
I was gonna say the same, Kalyn. We gotta kick this off. Let's cue the music. You are listening to Robert and Kalyn Get Rich. This is episode 55. Today is May 24th, 2025. There was a lot of fives in there, because May is also the 5th month of the year.
Yeah.
I'm Robert Kimmel, your host. This is Kalyn Kimmel, your other host and descendant from Thelma Ferguson. Thelma Coffee was her maiden name. I picked Ferguson because that's the one I knew when she was.
Yeah. Believe it or not, she's our grandma. Or was. She's dead now, and that's fine.
So, that's fine. And we don't mind so much.
Nope.
We started with dark humor, and this is where we made it to in time for the intro. Wait till we get to the outro.
Yeah, that's right.
But Kalyn inherited her kooky from her mother's side. 40 years from now, you're going to have lost all your marbles, Kalyn.
Oh, my God. I'm already on my way, not 40
You'll be
years.
wandering
Like,
around soccer fields looking for people to.
yeah, and I'll be like, I think there's something. Venus might be in retrograde right now. That might be what's going on. Like,
Well, listen. If you're not too kooky yet, if you haven't lost all your marbles, and if Venus is in retrograde or whatever Venus might be doing, won't you like and subscribe, forward us to your friends, and leave a comment. Tell everybody what you think is so great. Kalyn, so Trump, he spoke at West Point this week, maybe today. I think he might have spoken at West Point today, and I think he went on a rambling tirade about not only the stuff you're supposed to say to West Point graduates about how they've accomplished a lot, worked hard, and are looking to serve America, but also how he's removing all the liberal agenda from the armed forces. And,
oh gosh, yeah,
saying such things as we're getting rid of distractions and we're focusing our military on its core mission, crushing America's adversaries, killing America's enemies, and defending our great American flag like it's never been defended before.
Yeah.
The job of the armed forces.
Good try back in the day with the World War, You guys tried, but it's not going to be like now. We're really about
We're
defending
so much
America.
better. We're so much better defending. It's never been defended this beautifully. Wow. The job of the armed forces is not to host drag shows or transform foreign cultures. He's clearing the military of transgender ideas, critical race theory, and types of training he called divisive and political. So
what kind of training is divisive and political, I wonder?
All the DEI stuff. All the DEI training is divisive.
Like, how much training do you have to do on DEI stuff? Like, isn't it just like you just take a class? Same as like when I get a new job, then I have to take a class that's like on HIPAA. It's like we don't give away any of this information. Is there more to it than that? Like,
I think a common one was a couple-hour class or whatever for
right. And
for
they're like, thank God we're not distracted with that. And we can get back to like killing our enemies. Like,
yeah. You know that 3-hour class you have to take once a year, cadets? Like,
have no fear. That is a thing of the past. Thank God. Just be like, where's an enemy? I'm going to kill him. Like, I'm defending America. Don't let me get distracted by thinking about discrimination for an hour. I mean, I'm glad that we're like working on getting Canada over here, though. I'm still on board for that. And Iceland, Greenland. Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Greenland the one that he was like,
yes.
We need that should be ours? I'm like,
we should take Iceland too. Why not? I mean,
wait, is our military, now that they're not so distracted by the DEI bullshit and whatever, are they going to be like?
Now,
taking
get
it
on
over,
it.
You guys are graduating now. Mission 1. Greenland.
Well, he came into the presidency and he's like, military, take Greenland. And they're like, well, we would, boss, we would. But we've got a class we got to take,
everybody's really busy right now. Like,
we're taking we got these DEI bullshit classes we got to take.
Yeah. I mean, it is really such a distraction from
our wartime
from following
rating.
orders and from our executive chief. Yeah,
you're just envisioning this guy up on the wall and facing North Korea, right? Gun at the ready. And they're like, hey, Private Tom.
It's time for class. Come on. And he's like, but wait,
he turns it. He takes his eye off, and they shoot him through the.
Yeah, it's like.
And the sergeant's like, "Damn it! Whoa,
damn it! I knew we should have been focused on killing our enemies."
And but that Tommy was such a racist and sexist son of a bitch.
God.
It never gets easier. It never gets easier.
Yeah.
All right, Sergeant Dewey, get up here and guard this wall.
Yeah.
The big Trump news this week is, you've heard of this, the bill, the spending and taxation bill that Trump wants to get through? But nope. Well, this is the biggest news. Anyway, it's Trump's big, beautiful bill, right? So he wants to put it all together in one big, beautiful bill. Mm-hmm. And now here's the part that you are going to love. So Congress takes this concept and they create The One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Oh my God.
That is the name of the legislation, is the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Oh my God. My God.
And this passed Congress. This passed the House of Representatives. It is in the Senate for debate right now.
I don't know. I'm so not meant to be a politician in general. I'm like, is this like a political thing where we're like, let's go ahead and stroke his ego and everybody's going to sign off on this, right? Democrats, right? Republicans, like, we'll just go ahead and do this because maybe that'll make things be better with the tariffs or something. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. What I do know is that Moody's downgraded the credit rating of the United States because of the tax cuts.
Yeah.
So we went from a AAA rating to a AA minus or something like that.
Which, like, okay, like. So how much does that matter anyway? Like, also, when we talk about our deficit, I'm like, do we actually care? Like, we keep going. Like, we'll shut down the government briefly and do this and that, but also we still owe China $3 trillion or whatever it is. Like, I mean, do we give a shit actually? Like, it doesn't seem to matter. Like, I can totally see why there's all these people out there like, who cares about if I like have $1 billion in debt and like, having all those security or credit card debts and stuff. Who cares? I'll just declare bankruptcy later or whatever. Like, do we pay China back? I don't even know. We have nukes, so that's what we're doing with your money. Thanks for the loan. Like, we'll just be in a war for something. I don't know. Do we pay them back though? Like, are we making payments? Are we making payments by installation?
Interest payments are now the only thing larger in the federal budget than interest payments is the military. So it's something like that, or it's like Social Security, the military, and then interest payments are the next line item or something. Yeah, I don't know. People who are big into military stuff never seem to want to have any cuts related to military at all, and I can see it because I do feel super safe as an American. Like, I'm never worried about like shit happening because what's happened since 9/11, like nothing. Like, that was like, and that was when people are like, oh my God, this is what it's like to live in like a war zone or what, like, yeah. It's like, yeah, people actually live in this shit all the time. Yeah. Well, it turns out there are countries that have a better credit rating than the United States, and those countries are Australia, Canada, Denmark, Germany, Luxembourg, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Singapore, Sweden, and Switzerland. Don't say Finland. Oh, I thought you were going to say Finland. I wanted to say Finland. No. The closest I could get is Sweden and Norway and Denmark. Which is very close, which is as close as you get. No, the Finnish, they borrowed a whole bunch of money and made all these saunas and sled dogs and shit. They're like, right. They went all elk hunting and like, caribou. Yeah. Okay, but I think we can agree on this, and this was sent in by a loyal listener, Kelly Whitmore. At least Donald has this piece of his priorities straight, which is he is in fact phasing out penny production. The Treasury has made its final order of blank pennies and will stop minting the 1-cent coins once the current stock of blanks is exhausted. I don't know why we're stopping there, but like, great. Like, I mean, honestly, do we need nickels? Do we need nickels either? Like, I don't. I definitely don't. Like, I can't tell you the last time I had change in my pocket that lasted in there longer than, to throw in literally every time I'm going in, I'm paying cash for something, which isn't that often, but if I am, and they're like, I got 3 cents coming my way, I'm like, do not hand me those pennies. I don't even want to take them. I won't accept them. Keep them in your till. Like, we don't need that. That's not real. Let's just wait. But you know who is really focused on the pennies? The U.S. military. I bet they are. They're so distracted these days. They're just always distracted. Like, you're on a march, Lincoln. And here comes Private Pile, and he's like, coins. Yeah. Like, I just found something else out about Abraham Lincoln, who happens to be on the penny, like, or whatever. It's related to DEI, actually. I'm just kidding, but fellas, should we have a drag queen party here? Huh? We can pay for it with our pennies. Yeah, like it is a big distraction in the military, no doubt. All the drag shows. So going back and listening through like things that we've talked about, man, I didn't realize how long ago we started talking about like Finland. Like, as far as through lines go, like, man, Finland like was
very back, like episode 3 or something. We have a short that's about
like,
Finland, and I'm like,
Finns,
man, we've been
people.
fucking hating on those guys for a minute. Like, I used to think I just hated the Canadians the most, but now I realize it's the Finnish people.
Yeah, I kind of every so often I'm like, I want to go listen back to every episode and like grade them or something, you know. I know that's heavy sledding, but just you know, give them a grade and just figure out which ones are actually my top favorites. But
yeah, I just was like watching the shorts and like, man. Some of the early, I know that like we were figuring it all out, but like some of the shorts in the early days like are random and rough. Like,
there were some we didn't even know how to like cut we didn't even know how to edit.
Right.
You know, like,
we're just like, send, go.
Enjoy, world. Make us famous.
Yeah. Like,
How come we only got 213 views on our short?
Oh, 200? Some of the early days ones, I think I was the first to watch them when I watched them last week. Like, I was like, wow, no views at all, huh? Like, not one. That's fair. I wish I understood what the algorithm is. Like, with Poshmark, at some point early on, they're like, here are the things you need to do to, like, have more, like, exposure on Poshmark, right? And it's not just like have more clothing or make more sales or anything like that. It's like relisting things every day, listing something new most day, blah, 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 whatever. I wish I knew what it was on YouTube. Like, action begets action, but also like there's something that kicks it off, you know?
Well, there's no shortage of experts on YouTube who will be happy to tell you what their opinion on how to get higher rated videos. But I feel like on YouTube, they usually say, you just want to put out a lot of quality content. So, I mean, and we haven't tried that yet. So,
I mean, I don't know. I think that...
No, when I listen to our stuff, like I said, I listened to Noah Wiley one time. No, Noah Wiley. A guy from ER.
Trevor Noah? Trevor Noah, is that who
that's exactly right. Turned Trevor Noah into Noah Wiley.
I don't know why. I just was like, that's who. I just knew who you were talking about. And I didn't put it together. That was, Noah Wiley.
Because he's got a podcast. I listen to, anytime I listen to other people's podcasts, I'm like, our stuff is just as good as this. Well, I think what we ought to do is we ought to look at the portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that.
For once, I'm the one who remembered to look at the portfolio, Kalyn.
Yeah, which is funny because it's like ChatGPT is always like, cut this whole part.
Yeah, because rarely is the portfolio funny, but we are crushing it.
That's like pre-tariff numbers there.
I know, except look at the S&P. This is not like pre-tariff numbers on the S&P.
Wow. What are we doing right besides Chewy and Helmet and
No, there's one and only thing going right for us. So this total is 38.22. Scroll down here. Keep scrolling. Over scrolled. Here it is. Fannie Mae 35.87. So that's 90% of our wins is Fannie Mae. The rest kind of evens out, you know.
Yeah, and didn't we sell some Fannie Mae or whatever? Didn't we
We did. $600 of it. So that's all of our realized gain. It's more than all of our realized gain. So
so like so we made a mistake selling it. I see.
I don't know. I would sell. I think we ought to sell some because it's.
Selling now, but...
Yeah, selling what we already did, we would have been even richer. Yes, yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, that's why I've held on to it all these years. Like, I can't remember what I bought mine for. I know that mine was pretty high, but I bought it at various times. Oh, I'm totally lying. Apparently, the price I paid for Fannie Mae is $1.53.
Then you're up 10x almost. You are, maybe 7x or something. You are crushing it. I hope you had a big old slug of money in that. I wish I had more money in it.
Yeah, I know. I just need to get a job. I really hope this job works out. It's like I want to do more things, and I'm just, like with investments and stuff, but I'm like, it gets me scared, and I don't want to not have. I don't know.
This is healthy. Everything you're saying is healthy, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm like, I also really want a car, which I usually am not like that, but I don't have AC in my car. My car is also 14 years old, and it's paid off, but it's breaking down in lots of ways. And I want AC. I'm sorry, I'm going to be a princess.
This is what it's like to be a Dave Ramsey millionaire, you know?
I know, I'm like, here's me being a princess. I don't want to drive this 14-year-old car anymore.
With no air conditioning. She doesn't drive this in Seattle, Washington, people. She drives a car with no AC in Houston, Texas, where today's low was 92 degrees Fahrenheit.
Seriously, yeah. And it's only getting worse from here.
You know, I got a classic Mustang in high school, and one aspect of the classic Mustang is no air conditioning. And of course I wanted that because it's a cool car, and when you're 16, you know, or 17 or whatever, you want a cool car. And this was a convertible. I mean, it was super, super cool.
That car is super cool, yeah.
But the thing is, it rains every day in Houston, every day for 10 minutes. And inevitably, you're caught out in the rain, you know?
Yeah.
And so you can't have the windows down or very much.
Yeah.
And it is boiling hot.
God, no kidding. And this may be a hot take, but also leather seats, unless they have the new features where they can cool your seat down or whatever.
Yeah.
I think leather seats are a nightmare for when you're hot. That's just now I've got like trench foot of the ass because it's just like a pool that I'm sitting in. It's just soaking fucking wet. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so hot and sticky and ugh. I don't know. So in the Mustang with no AC, leather seats, getting rained on occasionally, and it wasn't quick to put the top up either. You had to do several steps and
you had to get out of the car and
right.
Yeah, it's not like today where you see a guy's driving a Porsche or something
yeah, they're gonna do it basically on the freeway. That's there were definitely some uncomfortable rides in that I don't know, whenever I didn't drive a Mustang very much, but I drove it a little bit.
But man, what a cool car that was. What a cool car.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, I feel badass in it. It is such a cool car.
I could imagine Thelma driving around in that Mustang looking badass, man.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Just the thought of mom driving the Mustang, I just seeing that.
I think it's funny.
Dudes are pulling up next to her and are like, hell yeah.
She's like, what? Whippersnapper, kind of energy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. They're funny with I was thinking about what the best and worst of the lessons that I got from mom and dad were, and there's been some very good stuff with money for sure. I don't know that you need to live in a constant state of fear like I feel like I did when we were growing up, where we're like, Dad's gonna lose his job, but it also we are where we are. But at one point they wanted to get landscaping done, right? And so I was like, well, what's your budget? I was working for Molly or knew the guy, and they're like, well, we don't know how much this stuff costs. And I'm like, well, still, you have some idea, right? And they're like, no, none at all. No idea how much we're going to have to spend. I was like, well, what if they say it's $10,000? And they were like, well, we won't spend anything near that. And I'm like, so you do have a budget. Or some ballpark. I don't know.
Right. There's clear there's clear yes, and then there's this gray area in the middle where you got to think, it's $3,200. Okay.
Yeah, it's how much money? What's your ceiling? You're just talking to me. You're not talking to the actual person. I'm not gonna be like, you can get them up to 5,000, whatever. Doesn't benefit.
They said their ceiling's 5,000.
Yeah, so don't worry. Gotcha.
I know they're my parents.
Landscaper
but I really like
I'm
you,
gonna hook
Mr.
up this landscaper who's
Hey everybody, it's Robert. Hey, Kalyn and I had some technical difficulties this time, so we're cutting it a little bit short. Sorry about that, but hopefully we got a nice, concise episode for you, and you got a few laughs in there. Anyhow, if you like what we do, please subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us 5 stars. Email us, Robert and Kalyn, getrich@gmail.com. Kalyn is Kalyn. And the best thing you could possibly do would be to forward this episode or any one of your favorites to your friends, neighbors, lovers, enemies, and the people that you work with. Any of that would be so much appreciated by Kalyn and I. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say goodbye and cue the music, and Kalyn and I are out until next week. Bye-bye.